I'm Molly, here with Matt Van Schoik, owner of CrossFit Final Call.
What up?
So today we are talking about what is CrossFit, not just the formal definition, but also I'm somebody on the street. Why would I want to come to a CrossFit gym as opposed to a Planet Fitness or something like that? It's kind of what I was thinking for today.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just anytime that anyone is asking, like, is CrossFit the right thing for me? I always tell them it depends on your goal. Like, it depends on the thing that you want to accomplish. So, I mean, if you want to, I'll say this, like, if you want to go and run a marathon, CrossFit's probably not the best thing for you. Like, if you want to be the absolute strongest that you could possibly be, CrossFit's probably not the best thing for you. If you want to be like super jacked, like I'm talking like 1982 Arnold Schwarzenegger, CrossFit's probably not the right thing for you. But if you want to be strong and fit and healthy and capable for life outside of the gym, then CrossFit's probably the best thing that you can do for yourself. So really everything, it all depends. And that's like the all-time fitness strength answer, right? Like what about this thing? Well, it depends. So, I mean, the conversation always has to start there with like, what's your goal? So I've already forgot the question. What is CrossFit? Is that what we're talking about?
Right. What is CrossFit?
Yeah.
So we know CrossFit is constantly varied functional movement executed at a high intensity.
Relatively
high intensity. So got to remember that one. So you said if you want to be really fit and healthy. Well, what's the difference between being fit and healthy as a CrossFitter versus I see somebody running a marathon and I think, man, that person's really fit.
Yep. So I think the biggest difference is, to me, it's just capability, right? So when I look at life and the things that I have to do in my life, well, I have 3 kids, and I'm married, and there are things that I am required to do in my life that require strength, or things that I'm required to do in my life that require energy, right? So like when my kids were younger, picking those kids up, like literally having one in each arm and one on my neck, right? And I remember specifically one time walking to a football game with a kid in each arm, a mile walk with a kid in each arm and a kid on my shoulders, right? Like, and CrossFit is the thing that prepared me for that. You know, if I wasn't doing CrossFit, then I wouldn't be able to do that. If I was only running and training for a marathon, then I wouldn't have had the strength to be able to do that thing, right? On the flip side of that, I play with my kids a lot, right? My kids are older now, teenage years, all of them, which is creepy, but
that's wild.
But they're all athletes, right? So they're all involved in some kind of a sport. So there's a lot of competition that happens in our household, and there's a lot of sport that happens at home. And if I was only training to run, I would not be able to participate in those activities with my boys the way that I'm able to right now. Like it could get pretty intense. You know, I've got an 11-year-old son and a 14-year-old son. And when we're playing basketball, like it gets real.
All bets are off.
I mean, it's like, it is we play to win, you know what I mean? And CrossFit has given me the capacity and the functionality to be able to do those things. But again, if I was only training to be able to go out and run a marathon, then I wouldn't have that agility, right? Or the work capacity in those short bursty time frames where I'm running a 10-yard up and out, right? And trying to beat my 11-year-old son in those things. So just, you know, it's those little things that I look at in life that that allow me, or it's the little things that I'm looking at in my life up against CrossFit or whatever other kind of training principle there is out there, which again, I don't think they're wrong. Mm-hmm. It just depends on what you're training for.
Right. So we know CrossFit's the sport of fitness. It's really the sport of life.
Yeah. I mean, so when you look at, so one of the things that I'll say about CrossFit that you can't say about really any other kind of training modality is that CrossFit has a methodology to it, right? Where like high rocks, functional racing.
I thought you were going to say hybrid rock stars.
Yes, hybrid rock stars or whatever it is. There's not a training methodology behind that, right? It's just a workout.
Right.
Powerlifting doesn't have a specific training methodology to become a strong powerlifter. There's a whole bunch of different theories in that. CrossFit has specifically like, this is how we do this thing. So when you look at the CrossFit pyramid, right? And that sport is up at the top, right? So we're talking about the hierarchy of athletic development in CrossFit. So at the very peak of the pyramid, at the very top is sport. And we see that expressed in a couple of different ways. One way is the CrossFit Games, right? So there are people in CrossFit who train specifically to compete in CrossFit. So CrossFit is their sport and it's awesome, but that is not most people, right? Like that's like 1% of 1% of 1%. So it's a very small sliver of the population of people that train for CrossFit. For us, the top of that pyramid, sport is life. So how do we use nutrition and metabolic conditioning and weightlifting and throwing and all of those things to prepare us for sport, which is life? So it's interesting to me that we can say, hey, we're going to do this, 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 and this to be able to train for this thing where there's really not a ton of other spaces.
Right. Well, and you mentioned the methodology. It's a very holistic view of things too, because I know I was thinking, why is CrossFit? A lot of people come in and they think, okay, it's just another group fitness program or a group fitness class, right? And so we talked a little bit last time about my background in group fitness classes with Les Mills and those type of things, or, you know, even the videos, right, of like Shaun T and that kind of stuff. How is this so different? And one of the first things that popped into my head was, because I still feel like I got the community aspect from going to some of those group fitness classes, but the big difference to me is the holistic view of things, right? Like after we would do these group classes, it was like, okay, how do we hang out? We go drink, or we go to a sports bar and eat garbage, right? Like there's not a holistic, everything works together, right? So
you're talking about a lifestyle.
Yes.
Right. And that is why we are called a cult, is because CrossFit is not just, it's not just a fitness methodology. It's not just a strength and conditioning program. It's not just a group class. It is a way of life. So, you know, we're talking about how you're sleeping and the kind of things that the kind of food that you're putting in your body to fuel your body. You know, we're talking about stress management and how much water you're drinking, and, you know, you throw the training methodology in on top of that. And there are just so many factors at play when we're doing CrossFit, right? It's not, like you said, it's not just about coming in and working your butt off for 60 minutes, which you're going to do when you come into the gym, but it's about what you're doing for the other 23 hours outside of the gym as well. Right. And I think, you know, one thing that separates this gym from a lot of other gyms is that our coaching staff is living the CrossFit lifestyle. Like you guys are doing the thing, right? Like you guys are out there doing the dance, like taking care of yourselves, taking care of your family. You know, it's not just walk in here and teach people how to squat, but it's all of that other stuff happening outside. And I think you just don't find that at a lot of places, like especially like at a 24-hour gym, right? Like, you know, there might be some other people in there that are kind of doing some things that are similar to you, but from a culture standpoint, we always talk about culture coming from the top, right? Well, we have people in here that are living CrossFit lifestyle, and that bleeds down to everyone else, right? Or it should. And when you go to some other gyms, you don't have that. There is no real leadership inside of the gym other than maybe you or the person that's coming into, or other people that are coming into that gym. So yeah, it's really interesting that there is definitely a lot more going on than just what's happening in the 60 minutes of a class.
Right. And what do you think are some of the most common misconceptions that maybe our members or just people around have about CrossFit in general?
I always think like when like I to me it's tough. It's tough now for me, right? Because I've been doing it for so long that like it just is what it is, you know? So I really have to put myself back into that beginner's mindset. And I always think like anyone new coming in like has this image in their head of like these like crazy like jacked dudes or like these chicks that kind of look like dudes because they're so jacked, like doing all of this crazy stuff, like ripping their shirts off and flipping tires and like spitting at each other's face and like you know what I mean, like just crazy. And it's none of that, right?
Like not even close.
It's not even close. Like, I mean, the average member that's coming into this gym is probably 40 years old. It's probably, it's like a 40-year-old woman, right? Like mother of like 2.5 children with a dog at home, like married for, 10 years or whatever. Like it's your average American person that's coming in here. A lot of people that come in here are overweight when they walk in the door. Or they have some kind of like medical issue or some kind of injury that they're working through. Very, very rarely do we get like an extremely fit person that comes in here. I mean, it happens from time to time that someone will walk in and they're looking for that little bit of that extra challenge or something like that. But for the most part, it's just your average everyday, it's your neighbor, right? That's walking into the gym here. And very few people have these crazy like competitive goals. I think that's another thing that people probably think about is like if you're going to do CrossFit, then you have to compete.
Right. And
there's none of that either. Like we're probably the most non-competitive gym that exists, right? Like there's none of that in here. Like people are really just trying to get fit and strong and healthy for life.
Yeah. Well, that's like saying anybody that enjoys going out for a morning run has to be training for the Boston Marathon.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there are other things that I think about too, right? Like you drive a car. Well, just because you can't drive a car like a NASCAR driver, does that mean that you shouldn't drive a car? Right? Like, so if you're looking at the competitive side of this, like, oh, well, I can't do what those crazy super fit people are doing on YouTube, so I'm just not going to do CrossFit. Okay, so my son is 11 years old. He can't play football like an NFL football player. Should he just not play football?
Right. So let's take it a step further there and let's talk about the members that do come in and they see like, okay, today we're doing handstands or today we're doing chest to bar pull-ups. Why should I even come in? Because I don't need to be inverted.
Yep. So this is an argument that I get into on the internet all the time. And I try not to, but I just get sucked into it. So in CrossFit, we're going to do things that we call functional movements, right? So we would call a functional movement by definition is moving a large load over a long distance quickly. Okay. But when you boil that down, we're going to squat, we're going to press things over our head, we're going to carry things, we're going to lunge, we're going to jump, we're going to twist and turn and do all the things that God designed us to be able to do as humans. Now, when you look at something like an overhead squat or like a handstand push-up or a handstand walk, those are nothing more than an expression of your ability to do those things. So if let's take a squat, for instance, okay? So we would start a squat with an air squat or like a body weight squat. And we would learn the mechanics of that movement first. So we're going to push our hips back and down. We're going to track our knees out with our toes. We're going to keep our heels down. We're going to maintain our lumbar curve. We're going to squat to hip crease below the top of the knee, and we're going to stand to full hip and knee extension. Boom, got it.
Listen to all those points of performance.
All 5 of them. But we're going to do all of those things, and as coaches, it's our job to make sure that you know how to do those things and that you can do those things. And if you can't do those things in an air squat, then it's our job to help you train to get to that place, right? Because that's the thing that we want to be able to achieve. So once we can now achieve all of those things, we want to be able to do those consistently, right? So every time you squat, you're going to squat with good technique, right? We would call it virtuosity, doing the common uncommonly well. Once we have the virtuosity in that movement and the consistency in that movement, now we can start to add intensity. Okay. So intensity can come in speed or it can come in load. So we can challenge it by saying squat faster, right? Or we can challenge it by saying hold a kettlebell here or hold a barbell on your back. So now we are starting to express our ability to maintain mechanics consistently under intensity. Okay. So now we can start to add more weight to the barbell, or we can add more weight to that dumbbell or kettlebell that we're holding in our front rack. We could now start to change our position just a little bit and maybe go to a front rack or go to overhead, right? And now can we still maintain good mechanics and consistency in those movements? I'm just going to sit here the whole time with my arms over my head forward. Like this. Yeah. So yeah, the point that I'm getting to here is it's nothing more than an expression of your ability to be able to do it. When you look at the man, I'm having a brain fart here. The
getting inverted,
the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum. My goodness.
Yes.
So there's this thing in CrossFit.
Fun fact. That's my favorite way to define fitness. Is with that one.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my favorite of the 4 models.
So when we get really good at this podcast, there will be the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum.
You'll see it right here.
Right here. Okay. So right now I need you to imagine a gas gauge. Okay. So your gas gauge on empty is sickness. Mm-hmm. Your gas gauge at half a tank is wellness. And your gas gauge at a full tank is fitness. Okay. Our job is to help you move the needle from sickness to fitness so that if something in your life happens, let's say you get hit by a car or by the bus, or someone in your family gets really sick and you have to take care of them for a long time, that we have built up a buffer to sickness. When you're doing an overhead squat, that's showing that needle moved all the way over to fitness. And now we've built that buffer all the way back to the air squat. It's kind of like the same concept.
That is really interesting. I've never thought of it like that, of using it as part of that buffer or explaining it that way. I mean, I've just never thought of explaining it that way. That's really good. Yeah. And even like creating that buffer, like we think if really bad things happen. No, like if really good things happen too. I mean, if you get pregnant, then you're automatically, that needle is going to move forward or move more towards that sickness. And I think about that a lot, like creating that buffer. And that is something I wish more people thought about, especially as they walk into this gym.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, ultimately we're just trying to stay younger for longer, right? Like to me, coming in and doing CrossFit consistently, 4 to 6 times a week, taking care of your nutrition, eating meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. That should be a song.
Keep intake levels to those that support exercise and not body fat.
Right. Yeah.
That's the part that I was missing for a while.
Yeah. I mean, when you're doing CrossFit, it's like drinking from the fountain of youth, right? Like I'm 41 years old now, and I'm not saying that I'm in the best shape, right? Like I could certainly be more fit, but when I look around, like when I go to a high school reunion, and I look around at my former classmates, I'm to that age now in my life where it's like either everyone looks like they haven't aged a day at all, or they look like they're like 60.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me how unfit people have let themselves go.
Yeah.
I mean, and all you have to do is pay attention to what you eat and come in and do CrossFit.
Simple,
That's
not
it.
easy.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be more simple than that. And like, we are trying to make it so simple for you. Like literally, you just have to walk in the door.
Just show up. We'll take care of everything else.
Like we're going to have your workout for you. We're going to walk you through it step by step by step. If you have an injury, we're going to modify and scale movements for you so that you're doing something that is going to keep you safe and injury free, or we're going to work around that thing. If you cannot do something inside of the gym, hey bro, we got something for you, man. Like all the time, there's something we can do.
Well, and taking it that step further, we literally just told you what to eat. We tell you all of those other things for the other 23 hours. Like we will help you with those things too. Their guidance there's no shortage of it. So why CrossFit? I think the other common misconception I hear is, well, it's really dangerous, right? The very first thing I ever heard when I asked somebody what CrossFit was years and years and years ago. And it's funny, it was probably around, I was thinking about this, it was probably around 2014 when I first heard about CrossFit. And I remember asking somebody what CrossFit was, and we were at a YMCA, and they said, oh, that's just these crazy fit people, like emphasis on crazy, that do these movements that we do, but they do them really, really fast to the point where it's not safe. Yep. And so the dangerous aspect is something that I hear a lot. And I know there's so much that can be said about that, but why specifically is this better than, say, going to a Planet Fitness and getting on a stationary machine and knowing that, okay, I can work these muscles, but in a safe, quote unquote, movement pattern?
Well, crossing the road is unsafe, right? Getting too much sun is unsafe. So like at some point in your life, you're going to have to take a little bit of risk. I would argue that walking into Planet Fitness on your own with no experience, trying to do whatever it is, whether that is getting on a treadmill or getting under a hack squat machine or doing whatever, is more dangerous than walking into a CrossFit gym where there's a coach standing there waiting for you and going to guide you through the whole entire thing. And I would say that that's the biggest difference is the coaching, right? There is always someone in here with their eyes on you. There's always someone in here that's going to help you get to the right place and help you find a level of intensity that is appropriate for where you're at right now. That being said, there's a little bit on you as well.
Right.
You have to check your ego when you walk in the door.
Yes.
Right. So I think when it comes to injury, I mean, we can definitely go pretty deep into this, but all of the reports, I'm gonna say this. All of the research that
and there's a lot of research on this, specifically in the CrossFit space and functional movement space, just for the record.
So all of the research that showed that CrossFit was like so dangerous, first of all, was bullshit.
It got debunked.
It all got debunked. So all of that research was supported by the NSCA and who was backed by Coca-Cola, who had lobbyists on Capitol Hill that were seeing that CrossFit trainers were stepping into this fitness space. And this is back in the day, seeing that CrossFit trainers were stepping into this space, and CrossFit was starting to take a chunk of the NSCA's money, essentially. Right?
What? You mean money had something to do with this? These misconceptions?
Yeah. So the NSCA then does some research that shows that CrossFit is dangerous. Well, CrossFit is actually less dangerous than most sports.
Right.
There are some sports, I'm sure that table tennis and badminton aren't quite as dangerous as CrossFit is, but there's still risk, I would argue, involved with all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Throw out an
maybe
elbow.
A little elbow pain,
Yeah.
like pickleball. I wonder what the injury rate for pickleball is.
I would guess it's actually probably higher than what we see in here.
I would say probably as well.
Fast moving and stopping and
Yeah. If
Plus,
we can,
those retirees take it very seriously.
Well, if we can never figure out how to do graphics and stuff like that, boom, injury rate for pickleball. Put it right there.
Yes.
Okay.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. So, man, I totally lost track there. Okay. So, regardless of what you have heard, first of all, I would challenge you to just walk in and see how it goes for you, because there's nothing that you're going to do in your life that is
we're
going
not
to be
doing in here.
Well, but it's not going to be risk free.
Right.
Right? Like you cannot live a life without risk, period. Right? But when you come in here, you're going to have a coach that's going to help you out. right? Someone that's got eyes on you. But also, you have to come in and you have to leave the ego at home. And what I mean by that is you've got to check yourself. And every person that walks in the door, I tell them, we have 4x6 mats on the floor in here. And I tell every new person that walks in the door, like, stay focused on that person that's in your 4x6 mat, because it gets really easy to look around at what everyone else is doing when you're new and go, oh, well, she's doing that, so I should be able to do that. Or he's doing that thing, so I should be able to do that thing. And what we don't realize is that you have 1.5 years of training experience, and I have 13 years of training experience, and you should not be able to do what I can do.
Right.
Right. So there's a whole lot of that going on. You're not ready for that. Your fitness level has not increased to that point where you're ready for that kind of intensity.
And if I could, that would almost argue against the methodology.
Right. So it absolutely does argue against the methodology, right? Like, you need mechanics first.
Right.
And then you need to be consistent with those mechanics, and then we can do all the intensity stuff. Right. And that's a game that we're always playing is, hey, we're going to build these mechanics, and then we're going to be consistent in those mechanics, and then we're going to bring this intensity in. And that intensity eventually is going to butt up against those mechanics. Right. And then we've got to back the intensity down and then retrain mechanics and get consistent again, then bring that intensity back in. And that's the game that we play all the time. But if you play the game the wrong way, where, okay, I kind of know what my mechanics are, but I'm looking around and everyone else is doing this thing, and we bring the intensity in and we jack it way up to a place that we are not ready for, yeah, absolutely, you're going to get hurt. That's where most injuries occur in the CrossFit gym. I'm not saying there aren't freak accidents, right? But people get hurt. People get hurt in a 24/7 gym, right? People get hurt doing high rocks. People get hurt doing Spartan races. Like, there is inherent risk in all of these things.
People get hurt doing Zumba, ladies.
Right? I mean, I'm sure that there's people that have drowned doing water aerobics.
Right.
Like, there's risk in everything. So, I mean, I don't know if I answered that question or not, but
no, I think that answers it really well. And it's a reminder too, that the people coming in, when we talk about having coaches on the floor, they're not lifeguards. They're not just there to save you if you drown. They're there to, it's like one-on-one training, just in a group atmosphere.
Yeah, I think that there's probably some misconception when we think of coaching as well, right? Just that word coaching, right? So I know this particularly for a lot of my 40, 50-year-old women, excuse me, they have this idea of a coach in their head that is a football coach.
I was just thinking football coach, like gonna get in their face, scream at them, and spit in their face and tell them like they just need to work harder.
Yes. And like, that is not what happens in here. No. That's not what, as a matter of fact, I don't know that I've been to some questionable CrossFit gyms before. Right. And I think that that's probably where some of that injury thing comes from, is from really bad coaching. But even in those places where the coaching is really bad, it's never someone just like screaming in your face. Like, I'm not here to cheerlead for you, right? Like, yes, I want to see you do really well, but my job is, number one, to keep you safe. Like, that is my number one priority, is to make sure that you are able to execute on the workout of the day and walk out of here with a smile on your face. Like, that's my number one thing, right? So in order to do that, first we have to have a good time, right? So we're going to have fun in here when we're doing this thing, but also it's my job to make sure that we are scaling and modifying movements. And when I'm talking about scaling and modifying, I think that there's some things we can talk about there as well, right? So if you have an injury and you're unable to, let's say, press overhead, then we would need to modify that movement into something that you can do. So if we can't press vertically overhead, well, maybe we can press horizontally. So we're going to modify from an overhead press to a horizontal press, right? Now, if you don't have a pull-up because you just don't have the skill or the strength to do that thing yet, then we will scale that movement to something that you can do. Perhaps we're doing a ring row, right, where we're building some of that pulling capacity, or we're going to do a jumping pull-up where we're working on a little bit of the skill and coordination of that thing, right? So crap, I lost my train of thought again.
Oh no, I did too.
So there, we were talking about coaching.
Oh yeah.
So, boy, what a mess. What a mess. So scale and modifying are important, and that's part of what the coach does in the gym, right? So
It's not a glorified babysitter.
it's not, and no one's going to scream in your face. Like, we're here to help you be successful. And it's not just the coaches on the floor that want to see you be successful, but everyone around you wants to see you be successful as well. And I know that it's really hard for a new person to walk into the gym and feel like everyone is there, like on their team, but they are. Like everybody's been through that first day. They all know what it's like to walk in and be nervous because, oh my gosh, this coach is going to be yelling at me the whole time and they're going to be doing this and all these other people can do all of this stuff. Well, they all had a first day too. And let me tell you what, none of them could do any of it.
Yeah. No one ever comes in and is just this perfect, wonderful mover, good at everything right off the bat. And I think that's also the beauty of CrossFit is that even if you are a very athletic person and you come in with that background, like it's still going to put you in spots where
there's always a challenge.
Yeah.
There's always a challenge. And so I've been doing CrossFit for almost 14 years now, just as an athlete and as a coach for some of that. But man, I still haven't found my limit. Like there's always something else that you can progress into, right? And that goes both ways. So there's always something that we can regress into, and there's always something that we can progress into. And it's infinite on either side. And that is one of the coolest things about CrossFit is there literally is something for every single person to do. I mean, we have kids as young as what, 4 or 5 years old doing CrossFit in here. And we have people as old as mid 70s doing CrossFit in here. Right. And they're all squatting. They're all pressing things over their head. Right. They're all running and jumping and doing variations of these things that they can do. They're working through those functional movement patterns. And they're doing it at an intensity that is relative to them, right? Coach Glassman told us what? The needs of the Olympic lifter and the grandmother vary by degree, not kind. We both need to squat.
Stole my thunder. I was about to say that.
Sorry. We both need to squat, right? Where the Olympic lifter needs to squat with 500 pounds on their back, grandma needs to be able to sit down in a chair.
Or use the toilet.
Or
live independently.
Right. And then have the shoulder mobility and flexion and rotation to be able to wipe her own ass. Yeah. Right. And then stand up off that toilet. Like those are the things that we want to be able to do in here. So yeah, there's always something for you. There's always a challenge for you. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing that keeps people out of the CrossFit gym is the challenge. It's hard.
Not wanting to be uncomfortable.
Dude.
And it's really, really freaking uncomfortable at times.
Yeah. But, I would challenge anybody, like, look at your life.
Growth and comfort cannot coexist in any facet of your life.
Anything that you've ever gotten in your life that's worth having, I promise you did not come easy.
No.
Like, think about your marriage, right? Like, how hard is marriage? Like, anyone that is married and has been married for some time understands that marriage is challenging. It is hard. It is uncomfortable. It requires a lot from you, right? Having kids, like, wow. Who'd have thunk that would be that hard, right? Like, and not just that it's hard in the beginning, but it's hard all the time. Like the challenge.
So once you get through one season of hardness, there comes the next one.
Yeah, the challenges just continue to come, and it's different in every season, right? And we're talking about being prepared for what we would call the unknown and the unknowable in CrossFit. Well, it's not just a physical thing that you're preparing for inside of this gym, but there's mental and emotional and spiritual preparation that happens in here as well. And, as I'm going through seasons with my kids and I'm dealing with, my kids are like super crazy independent right now. And that's like been a really hard thing for me to adjust to is all of their life. Like I have been like in there, like my youngest has been by my side his whole entire life. And now they don't need me for those things. But because I'm used to challenging myself in different ways and pushing myself outside of my comfort zone and being in that place where it's like, whew, man, I don't know about this, right? It's much easier for me in my life to adjust to those things, to be able to look at that challenge and be like, all right, I can take you on because I know what that feels like over here, right? I know what it feels like to be uncomfortable. I know what it feels like to fail. You know, I know what it feels like to push. I know what it feels like to be a little bit scared sometimes. And all of those things bleed into your life outside of the gym.
We have a running joke at work. Anytime something comes up, if I have to do a speaking gig or give a talk on something that I'm not super comfortable with, the running joke is, oh, Molly can do it because she does CrossFit. And it's never fitness related.
Do they know why they're saying that?
Yeah, because CrossFitters are badass and we have a mental toughness.
Yeah. And they recognize that. Like the people that you work with, they recognize that.
They do.
And they're like,
there's some other jokes that go along with it about it also being a cult, but that's fine.
Yeah. Right.
But
hey, I don't care. You can call us a cult. That's fine.
We put the cult in culture,
yeah,
right?
It doesn't hurt my feelings. I think that that's another thing that CrossFit gives us is thick skin.
And the ability to laugh at yourself.
The ability
take things quite too seriously.
Right. And be able to take feedback and understand, you know, like not everything everyone says is made to hurt you, dude. Like sometimes
it's not always about you.
Yeah, it's not always about you, right?
Still learning that.
Yeah. There's definitely an inherent toughness with CrossFitters. And I think that I think everyone has toughness, but it hasn't maybe been cultivated in all the right ways. Like maybe you just the right buttons haven't been pushed to bring that toughness out of you. And for you to be able to see like, yo, I can do
really hard things.
Yeah, I can do some of this stuff. But that's what happens when you live in a world of comfort, right? Where, man, if I don't know the answer to a question, I don't have it with me. Thank you, man.
I can just Google it.
You know, I don't have it with me. I don't have my phone with me, and that feels good. Oh, it's right there. But you know, I can Google the answer to my question. You know, if I'm hungry, I don't have to do anything. I can just go to the drive-through and I can get whatever I want. Right?
Yep.
Like if I want to talk to someone I haven't talked to in years, I don't have to drive to their house. I can just pick up the phone and call.
Oh man! So let's talk about how Amazon Prime has completely destroyed our expectations about when to see results. Because so speaking of that, like we live in a world of comfort and convenience, and so when I come into the gym and I've been coming here for 30 days and I don't see these drastic physique changes. And I'm frustrated because I look at somebody else in the gym. We talk about, you know, well, she's putting on more weight on the bar than I can. And that frustrates me. But I'm also looking at these women, these guys. It's like, man, why don't I look like that?
Yeah, it's because you haven't put in the work, right? Like it takes
more than 30 days.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time. I think Lindsay is my wife. She's kind of the brains behind everything that I do. I just take all the credit for it. I think at one point I remember her saying like, you know, you can expect for like, if you haven't done anything for 20 years, like if you haven't taken care of your nutrition and you've just been eating whatever you want, you've been hitting that drive through at Mickey D's, right? You like go to the gas station and you grab one of those breakfast sandwiches on your way to work in the morning
that are like dripping grease.
Yeah, and you're slamming Monster energy drinks, and you know the kids are having pizza, and you got like you're gonna eat the whole thing, you know, and you're snacking out of the kids' drawer and all of those things, and you know, maybe you haven't done, maybe you weren't an athlete in high school, or maybe you were, but it's been 20 years since you graduated, and man, I haven't been to a gym. Like I've been sitting on my butt. Like now everything's done on Zoom, you know, for the last 5 years, particularly. Like if you're not moving around, like you can expect that if it's been 20 years, Lindsay said, I'm remembering now. Lindsay said, if you like think 1 month for every year.
Okay.
1 month for every year. So if it's been 20 years since you haven't done anything,
It'll take you almost 2 years.
Then you can think 1 month for every year of inactivity, or to get into a place where like you are healthy again. And I mean health as in like biomarkers are moving in the right direction. Like the fat is coming off. Like it just takes time, but that's no reason to quit or to not start. Right. And I think that that's where the problem is like, well, I can't get it right now, so I'm just not even going to start. What's the point? Right. Well, you're adding years to the end of your life, and not just like time, but quality time. Right. Like like I used to work at Marathon. Okay. So I work at the refinery. I love my Marathon peeps, but let me tell you something. They sit on their butt for 12 hours a day. And you can see it, man. Like you can see a man that works at Marathon without him having his Marathon stuff on, because his belly sticks out to here and he's got a dumb looking mustache on his face. Okay. Shave the mustache, boys. But you can see it. It's like the Marathon belly. It's it's a joke, right? Like must work at Marathon, because they don't do anything. And they sit out there for 30 years and they save their whole life for this retirement, and they have all of these plans. And then within 12 months of retiring from the refinery, they have a heart attack and they die. What is the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? Right? Like when all you have to do is take care of your nutrition a little bit, right? Like eat some whole food, like eat some meat and eat some vegetables.
Don't eat like an asshole. That's it.
Don't eat like an asshole, right? Exercise regularly. I mean, hey, if you can only get 3 hours a weekend right now, that's an awesome place to start. Maybe it's just getting up off your butt and walking, trying to get 10,000 steps in a day. Man, start there. You're adding quality years to your life when you start to do those things. And when you can consistently do those things, you know, that's what we're looking for here.
Well, and it's that idea that everything we do is either a deposit or a withdrawal from that bank.
I mean, you know, there's a lot of like, I think about my faith in this too, right? So we're talking about the return that we're getting and the long-term reward. You know, I think about this a lot and I think that CrossFit has taught me to become more faithful to Christ, because I have had to work hard for results inside of the gym that did not come as quickly as I hoped that they had.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I had to have faith that if I ate well and exercised regularly and got 8 hours of sleep a night and drank plenty of water and did all of the things, that eventually my body would look like I want it to look and my fitness would be where I wanted it to be, and those things would come.
Yeah.
Man, I'm exercising that same faith every day in my walk with Christ, right? Like, I mean, I'm ready for him to come. I hope he doesn't come tomorrow. I mean, I got a lot of things I would like to do, you know, but like, I don't know when that return is going to come. So like I said, there's a lot of parallels between what we're doing in the gym and what happens out in your life.
Oh, absolutely. The test in patience and trust and knowing when to, or being able to trust in things that you can't see. Yeah. That's really, that's like really scary accurate. Yeah. So when I was thinking about that, you know, I was on the wagon and then rolled off the wagon and never got back, or not never. Yeah. Took me like 6 years to get back on the wagon, to the point where it wasn't just taking a break. It was this new person was created that was not fit and was very much on the sick side of that continuum. It took about, that makes sense. It took about 6-7 months, and my biomarkers, my blood work at that 6-month mark is when it changed. That's wild.
She's real smart. Maybe we should have her on the, what are we calling this again?
The blind leading the blind.
Maybe we should have her on the blind leading the blind. Then we might have like some vision.
Then we might have
some
vision.
Yeah. What else?
Oh man, I could just talk about how CrossFit prepares you for every facet of life, of everything, all day long. Yeah,
I think, you know, it's
so much more than a workout. I guess that's my.
CrossFit is a lot of things.
Yes,
it's a lot of things too. And I think if you ask 10 people, hey, what is CrossFit? You're probably going to get 10 different answers,
absolutely.
Right? What is CrossFit?
CrossFit's everything.
Man, I was going to say the same thing. It's everything.
It's everything. It is the cure.
Yeah.
To laziness, metabolic disease, to insecurity, to depression, anxiety, struggling with identity. I mean, this is where everything kind of breaks open. And you talked about how it's, it's not just a workout, right? It's this spiritual experience. And yeah.
Yeah. While you were saying that, the word gateway popped into my head. Like CrossFit is the gateway to the person that you want to be, right?
Yes.
Like that image of the person that you have in your head that you're like, man, if I could just be like this person, like CrossFit is the gateway to get you there. Like it will help you in every part of your life that you need help in to get to that place that you're trying to go. And there's going to be a whole lot of people along the way that are going to help you get there too.
Well, that's the other thing is it's not just physical. And that's what I want everybody to know is that it's not just this physical transformation that happens. It is just as much the transformation that happens between the ears, but you get people with it. Like you get this circle of people that are like-minded and want to see you succeed. And you get people in an environment that's healthy, physically, spiritually, mentally, maybe not everywhere, but definitely here.
Yeah. Can I tell you a secret?
Please.
That is why a big part of the reason why I started the gym is because I was in a place in my life where like I had started to get really focused on, I'll be honest with you, Lindsay is like crazy healthy. And
I had no idea.
Yeah. And when we got together, I was not healthy at all. And I mean, I know I've told you before, but like there was a moment where I was like, okay, dude, like you better get it together or this chick is going to walk away from you. And I started getting way more focused on my health and my nutrition and my mindset and all of those things. And I was lonely doing it. Like I felt like I was the only one, like I was working in a place where like nobody else gave a crap about that. Like they were there to make a buck. And seemed like, I'm not saying that it's everyone's focus, but it seemed to me like that was their focus in life was how much money can I make? And I did not want to live a life like that. Like money, I'm not saying money is not important because it is, we got to have those things, but there was something else that I was looking for. And a lot of it was that community of people. Like I wanted to be surrounded by people who were like thinking the way that I was thinking. And that was part of the reason why I started the gyms. Cause like, okay, if no one else is going to do it, then I guess I have to, because there's nowhere for me to go to find this thing. So I'm just going to have to create it. And here we are.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I showed up and never stopped coming because of the people. I mean, that was the draw is same thing. Like I was very lonely as an adult, realizing like, I don't have any adult friends.
Yeah. Making friends as an adult is really
really hard and weird.
Yeah. It's weird. Like I don't even know how to do it. Like, what do you do? Walk up to like, hey, do you want to go outside and play? Right. Like, I remember as a kid, like I would just go knock on someone's door and be like, yo, you want to go out and play?
Yeah. Now you do that. You get arrested.
What? Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah. And I mean, we have members of the gym that are everywhere in the community. And now I feel like no matter where I go, whether it's church, whether it's Walmart, whether it's wherever, like, oh, hey, I'm going to see a gym member and I'm no longer alone.
Yeah. And it's not just like alone, like there are people that you know, but it's like you're not alone in that there are people that you can call.
Yes. And there's a unique bond that happens. We talk about the shared bond of suffering, but there's a unique bond that happens too in a CrossFit gym because now it's like, I see you and man, I have seen you at one of your lowest points, splattered out on the floor, like wanting to die. We know each other very intimately now. Yeah. And that's a really cool thing.
Yeah. And, I think if you listen to any affiliate owner talk about what makes their gym so special, what are they going to tell you?
The community.
The community, right? I don't think it's community. I think it is culture. I think it is the culture of the community that makes the gym so special, right? And we have a culture of really hard workers here, like people that are not afraid to step into their fear. Man, that's a mind-blowing thought right there, right? But they're willing to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? They're willing to step into that place, and that, being surrounded by people like that, is different.
Yeah.
You're not going to find that in a whole lot of places.
And culture is caught, not taught. Yeah. And it bleeds into. So when you're surrounded by people like that, you become that. I mean, we've heard that cliche saying of you become like the 5 friends you spend the most time with. But boy, is that true. And when you're here, you naturally, this place is going to elevate you. Yeah.
We were talking right before we turned the camera and the mics on about some of the people. Like, I was following this dude online, Zach Evanesh, before I started the gym. Well, that you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with or whatever. That was in my head a lot way back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like, I was looking around at the people that I was spending the most time with, and I was going, ooh,
oh no.
Like, I don't want to be like these people.
Yeah.
Not that they were bad people.
Yeah.
Because they were good people. They just weren't headed in the same direction that I was going. They didn't have the same kind of vision for their life that I had for mine, right? And vision is magnetic, right? So it's going to suck the right people in, and it's going to push the wrong people out. So I wanted to attract the right kind of people. And I had to go into the online space to find those 5 people that I wanted to be the most like. And I took a lot of what I learned from those dudes, because it was a lot of dudes, and brought that into this gym, or I'm trying to bring that into this gym. So yeah, I mean, it's important to surround yourself with the right people, the kind of people who want to be successful themselves, and want to see the people around them be successful. And I think that that's a really hard thing to find in the culture of the world today, where the people that are in this gym are not going to stand on your throat to get to the place that they're trying to go. They're not going to use you as a stepping stone or a ladder to get there, but they're going to be pushing you up the hill in front of them. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's go.
Yes.
Right? Like, we're on this journey together, and we're going to be whatever that success looks like.
And there's accountability there.
Yeah.
And the leading with love. So I'm trying to think of how to articulate this, but there's definitely, they're not going to stand on your throat to get where they want to be, but they're also, when you say pushing you up, and that they're going to hold a standard for you, and out of love, hold you to that standard.
I can't remember where it is. There's a line. There's a line in the Bible somewhere that talks about like being a brick in the wall, or a stone in the wall. It talks about being a stone in the wall. And I think about that a lot. And I think about that inside of this gym. And I think about us being stones in the wall and what that means. So I am a stone in this wall. And if I'm here, then it means that there are stones underneath that are holding me up. Right? And it means that there are stones above that I am holding up. And it means that there are stones to my left and to my right that I am adding strength to. And that is what I think about when I think about the culture inside of CrossFit Final Call is, hey, let's be a stone in the wall.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot to end it.
Cool. Cut. Oh, no, too soon? Tune in for next week.
Tune in for next time where we talk about, I don't know yet, but it'll be good.
Yeah, we'll totally jam. Now we do the outro music.